Hello there, welcome in. I was leaving yoga yesterday and I decided to just stroll on down to Ulta. It's 4 doors away and do a little shopping. I came home with a drugstore haul. It's little, but I thought it would be fun to try these new products today, and I'm adding in other drugstore favorites, so we're going to have a full face of drugstore makeup today. I picked up several new things now. Some of them are new to the market, some of them are just new to me. First of all, I have the NYX the Marshmallow Primer. I've heard so much about this. I'm excited to give it a whirl. This L'Oreal Voluminous Noir Balm Mascara. Have you been hearing about this? So many people love this. I'm going to give it a try. How well does it stack up to the Maybelline Sky High? I have a bronzer from Revlon. This is a Skin Light bronzer and it's in Sun Kissed Beam. Now this is, I think, a shimmery bronzer. I don't know how this is going to work out on my mature skin, but we'll check it out. And I picked up what's become quite a little classic. That's the Nudes of New York from Maybelline. This is such a popular palette. We'll give it a try today and see what kind of look we can put together on pretty mature lids. If you're new here, I'm so glad you stopped by. I hope you'll consider subscribing while you're here and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. We're gonna hop right into the makeup today, and as always, all products that I use and mention today will be listed and linked below, so super easy for you to find. And with that, let's hop into the makeup. I'm really excited to give this primer a try. I've heard so much about it. So many people have said it's a dupe for a more expensive primer. I can't remember which primer, but we'll give it a try today and I'll give you my thoughts. So it has a little pump right here. Oh my gosh, it's a soft pink color. Oh, and it feels like whipped marshmallow cream. It really does. This is fun. Oh, and it's nice and cooling on the skin. I might have got too much. It feels, ooh, it feels really yummy. Kind of like very moisturizing and hydrating. A little bit of a moussey feel. Very cooling on the skin. Really nice so far. Oh, I hope this works out. This would be lovely to find a great drugstore primer that I really do like a lot. It feels like skincare going on, like a very moussey skincare. How fun. I'm liking the way that primer is feeling. It's a little bit tacky and a little bit hydrating. It just feels really nice on the skin. For our eyeshadow primer, I'm going to be using the tried and true Milani. I do like this very much. It just doesn't cover up my discoloration on my lids as much as the Anastasia of Beverly Hills. But if you're not worried about that, this is a great eyeshadow primer at a drugstore price. Then I'm going to go ahead and use my Beauty Pie Under Eye Corrector. This clearly you can't pick up at the drugstore, but the Beauty Pie prices are really in the drugstore range. This is a good line of products. I have tried so many things from them that I really like. So I'm just going to run my finger around here a little bit, get some, and tap that underneath my eyes. This just does such a great job prepping my under eyes, knocking down the dark circles, and hanging on to my concealer. For brows today, I'm going to continue to try this L'Oreal Micro Ink pen. I used this in another Get Ready With Me. I don't think I figured out how to use it quite properly yet, but I'm going to move ahead and keep trying. This is in the color Blonde, and it's one of those pens that you sort of draw in individual hairs, which may or may not be right for my brows, but I'm going to continue to work with it. So I'm just going to start at the very bottom of my brows and start filling it in. I like to create that bottom line first, and then go up into the brow. I actually had a few of you comment that you love this brow pen, so that makes me really want to keep using it to see if I can get it to the point that it's really a favorite. So I pretty much have the brows filled in. I'm not sure that this pen gives off a consistent amount of product. In other words, it seems a little patchy to me, and it seems like it just doesn't fill in quite as quickly or thoroughly as my brow pencils. So far I can say I'm not sure it's a favorite. I'm excited to dive into this Nudes of New York palette. I've heard so much about it. So many people really do love it. It is a 16 pan palette and you can see very, very neutral shades. You really could put together so many wonderful looks with this. There's a nice combination of mattes and shimmers and satins in here. I'm excited to give this one a try. I'm going to go ahead and take a big fluffy brush. I'm going to dip it into this color Soloist right here. This is just a soft kind of eggshell cream color. That's going to go over both lids from top to bottom just to lay down a nice base. I want to create just a really gorgeous neutral look today. I'm going to take my BK Beauty 202 brush and dip it into this lighter color up here. I would tell you the name, but I can't read it. The first one I was lucky. So that's going to go right above my natural crease in the transition area, and I just want to start creating depth in that crease area and kind of pushing that hood area back in space. So just a light application right above my natural crease. Then I'm going to go back in with that big fluffy brush and blend that in really well. Now I'm going to take a flat brush and dip it into this really pretty cool, kind of a plummy brown down here. Little bit of a plum tint to it. Get that right on the tip of my bristles. Tap it off, and that's going to go right on the outside third of my movable lid, down along the lash line, and then up into my crease area. And where I place my brush first is where the most pigment is going to go. So I want to make sure that's always on that outside area of my movable lid. Down along the lash line, up into my crease. And I'm going to go back in and deepen up that crease area on both sides and bring that down along the outside edge of that movable lid. Now I'm going to go back in with that big fluffy brush and really blend it into that transition shade that we laid down first. I'm really liking this palette. The shadows are working really well. I haven't had any fallout. Really a nice little palette. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to dip it into this kind of shimmer bronze color down here. I can't really describe it. Let me put it on my finger and you can see it. So there's the color right here. It's a little bit bronzy, a little bit shimmery, and that's going to go right on the movable lid, almost all the way to the outside edge, but I don't want to cover up that deeper, darker color I placed there first. I'll have to say the colors in this palette are just beautiful. Back in with the big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to blend the edge of that shimmer shade into the crease area. Now I'm going to take a smaller, more detailed brush and dip it back into that first shade we started with. I'm going to pack a little bit on that brush, and that's going to go right under both brows just to highlight that area a little bit. Today for foundation, I'm going to use the foundation from the drugstore that I just am so fascinated with. I tried this about 3 weeks ago. I wore it every single day for almost a week. That's how much I loved it. And I was so surprised. I did not buy this. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect 4-in-1 Tinted Balm. They sent this to me, and you know what? I'm so glad they did, because I would not have picked this up in the store. There's just something about this that would not have attracted me. And also the idea of a balm for a foundation probably is something I never would have tried if they didn't send it to me, but I'm so glad they did. I love this foundation. Not that it's perfect, it's not perfect, but the finish it puts on my skin is so very beautiful. I think this only comes in 8 or 10 shades. The shade range is pretty narrow. It's more of a sheer foundation, but I'm surprised at how much it covers on my skin. Today I'm going to be using the Light Clear number 10. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it around my face with my BK Beauty 101 brush, and then I'm going to use a sponge to really work it in. This feels so light and airy on the skin. Very, very hydrating. It's just the most unique foundation I've tried in a while. And here's the thing. I have tried a couple of high-end foundations recently. I wish that they looked on my skin like this does. This is the finish that I really love on my complexion. So now I'm going to take my Stands Out sponge. I'm giving this a whirl. So many people love it. And just start pressing that foundation in around my skin. This foundation just has the look I love on my skin. It's nice and dewy. It's light. It's just really pretty. For concealer today, I'm going to be using a tried and true drugstore favorite. This is the Maybelline Age Perfect Rewind Concealer, and I have it in the color brightener. And you can see my tube is a little bit glummed up. I don't like to use the sponge tip, so I just rip that sponge tip off. So I'm just going to get a little bit, truly, this is so messy. I should have cleaned it before I started. So I'm just going to twist it and get a little bit up, tiny little bit on my finger. That's going to go right underneath my eyes. I love this concealer. Such a great price, and it really does a nice job. In the brightener color, it really does open up my under eye area, which I appreciate. I'm going to use my Sigma sponge with that nice little tip and just blend that in. Now I'm going to hop into this bronzer. I have no idea how this is going to work out because it has a little bit of shimmer to it. I've never used a shimmery bronzer. You can see it right here. It really has a pretty little pattern on the product, but I'll tell you what, this package was so hard to get open. It was like, am I smarter than drugstore packaging? This was really hard to get open. It took me about 5 minutes. I'm going to take my little e.l.f. tapered brush, and I believe this is in the color Sunkissed. Yeah, get a little bit on my e.l.f. tapered brush, tap it off, and just start working that around and creating some color and definition on the face. It's a pretty color. It does have a little bit of shimmer to it, but not too much. It just kind of creates a nice little glow on the skin. That's actually really pretty. A little bit underneath my chin. You know, I think this is pretty. It does have a little bit of glow to it, but I think it's nice. This would be a great bronzer for the summertime when you have that kind of glowy bronze look going on. Really pretty. I like that. For blush and highlight today, I'm going to be using one of these little e.l.f. 2-pan palettes. This is in the colorway Watermelon. I love these. Love, love, love these. I've tried a few. I can't remember the colors right off the top of my head. I have loved every single one I've tried, and I think I still have one more in my 2-try bucket that I haven't dove into yet. This is so pretty on the skin. The colors are so very beautiful. If you haven't picked one of these up and you're in the store or you're shopping on Ulta, throw one in your cart. I think they're like $3 or $4 or $5. They're so inexpensive and so beautiful. I'm gonna get a little bit of the blush on my brush right here, tap it off, and then that's gonna go right in the high point of my cheeks. Look at that. Isn't that just so pretty? I love these blush and highlight combinations. They're so gorgeous. The colorways are just spot on. They look terrific on the skin. Now I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and blend that in. Then I'm going to dip into that highlight right here, get a little bit on my brush, and just hit the tops of my cheeks, a little bit in the front, tip of my nose, can't help myself. Love, love these little duos. They're so great. Going to just blend that in. Today for setting spray, I'm going to be using the Milani Make It Last. I actually picked this up, gosh, about a month and a half ago. I really do like this setting spray, and it's at a drugstore price. You can see I went all in. I got the jumbo size. Love everything about this. The sprayer is great. It really puts a nice little bit of glow on my skin, sets my makeup down, holds it in place. Really a nice product. I'm going to hop off real quick, tight line my eyes with the L'Oreal Lay Liner, and curl my lashes with the world's best eyelash curler. Honestly, this is the Rephr eyelash curler. I'll be right back. While I was curling my lashes and doing my tight lining, I also filled in my brows with the LA Girl. This is the Brow Bestie. I really like this pencil. It's one of those angled pencils, and it has a nice spoolie on the end. I just didn't feel like that brow pen had filled in my brows very well, so I went ahead and added this. Now for the mascara, I'm going to go ahead and put down a coat of my L'Oreal. This is the Voluminous Lash Base. Love, love this stuff. So just a quick coat, and what I do is I make sure that I get it from the base all the way to the tips of my lashes. So just a light coat on each eye, and this just makes such a difference with the length and the volume of any mascara that I try. So now we're going to give the mascara that is the Voluminous Mascara. This is Noir Balm from L'Oreal. Isn't that tube just gorgeous? They really did a beautiful job on that tube. It looks very high end. So let's open it up and see what we have as far as a wand. Okay, this wand is very similar to, gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's another L'Oreal mascara. It comes in the kind of the little black genie tube. I can't remember the name of it. This is very similar. It's a rubber wand and just a very tapered shape. If you don't like rubber wands, I happen to really like them. You probably won't like this, but that's what we have going on here. So let's go ahead and put a coat on one eye and see how this looks. Okay, so here we have the mascara with one coat on this eye, and you can compare it to the other eye. One thing I can say about this formula is I think I like it, and it's drier than most mascaras. You know how sometimes when you open up a mascara, it's really wet and really goopy, and it doesn't really get good for a couple of weeks? This comes out drier. Now, I don't know if I just got an older tube, and maybe that's why it's drier. I'm gonna kind of pump it a little bit before I do the other eye, or if this is how the formula is. But so far, I think the length is really good. Not a whole lot of volume. Maybe the second coat, it will increase in volume a little bit. So here we have 2 coats on both eyes. Wow, you can see it really does lengthen the lashes. It gives a more fluttery look than the Maybelline Sky High, but I think it's really, really pretty. What do you think? For lips today, I picked up one of these crayons. This is from the Maybelline line. The reason I did is because I'm so in love with the Revlon Color Stay Matte Ink Crayon. They're very, very similar to these from Maybelline. This is in the color Stay Exceptional. The reason I picked it up is because this color looks kind of like my lips, but better. I'm not sure if that's how it's going to look on my lips, but we'll give it a try. One of the cool things about these lip crayons is that you don't have to use a lip liner because they come with a very sharp point, and then they have a sharpener on the bottom, so it really is a nice way to be able to use the lipstick and not have to use a liner. Here we have the lipstick. Isn't that a pretty color? Here we have the finished look. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was so much fun, and I found some new products that I absolutely love. This NYX Marshmallow Primer, oh my gosh, the buzz is real. I love this primer. Everything from how it feels on the skin when I applied it to how it held onto my makeup. This is really a nice little primer. You know, I have said recently that I don't think I've found any primer that was my holy grail or did something that other primers don't do. This might edge its way up into that spot. I liked everything about this primer, and it's a drugstore price. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it's very, very affordable. Feels great on the skin, really sets down nicely, kind of gives a little bit of a tacky edge so that the makeup hangs on a little bit better, but it still feels very, very hydrating, moisturizing, and skincare-like. Big fan of the NYX the Marshmallow Primer. Another product where the buzz is real is the Nudes of New York palette from Maybelline. This has become kind of a little classic. I love it. The shadows worked really well. They blended in beautifully. Lots of payout. No fallout at all. They're really, really easy to work with. And it's a beautiful neutral colorway. So if you're a neutral girl and you're looking for a neutral palette, I can tell you, I don't think you can go wrong with this one. This is a great little palette. Affordable drugstore price. It deserves all the compliments that it's gotten. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the glowy portion of this bronzer, but I really, really do. And again, I'm having a hard time opening it. I don't know what it is about some drugstore packaging. Honestly, it tries my patience. This is really a pretty bronzer. You can see on my skin it has a little bit of glow, but I think it's very, very nice. I'm excited to use this during the summer when I have a little bit of color on my skin to kind of give a nice glowy sun-kissed look. This is called Sun-Kissed. Beautiful product, great drugstore price. Nice, soft, and subtle, but really does add to the look of the complexion. These little 2-pound palettes from e.l.f. Oh my gosh, this is a run, don't walk product. They're so affordable. They're so very good. I get such a kick out of using these, and I'm not sure if it's because they're so inexpensive or because they're very good. Maybe it's a little bit of both. This is in the colorway Watermelon, and of course the blush and the highlight just blended in so well. Can you see that nice glow on the skin over that beautiful blush color? Really a great find at the drugstore. And I'm liking this lipstick. Both of the crayons from Maybelline and Revlon I'm a big fan of. They stay on, they don't transfer. They're really a nice offering for my more mature lips because they don't creep into my lip lines. They stay put, and I'll tell you what, I went out on a hiking club adventure the other day, and we were hiking and then we were all going out to dinner. I wore one of the Revlon ones in a more neutral color, and one of the ladies at the end of the hike said to her friend, "Look, her lipstick's just perfectly in place." It's because of these crayons. They sit down, they stay, and they look fabulous. This is in the color Stay Exceptional. I'm really a fan of this color. I think it works really well. And last but not least, I'm still so fascinated and really pleased with this L'Oreal balm, the 4-in-1 balm. If you haven't tried it and you're looking for a drugstore foundation, I think you might like this. I like everything about it. There's one thing that I noticed that I have to work with, and that is that it doesn't dry down right away. It takes a few minutes for it actually to kind of sink into the skin and settle in. I notice if I put products on top of it too quickly, it still moves around a little bit. I just love the finish it puts on the skin. It's very sheer. It feels delicious when you put it on, and it does cover a lot of my little doodads, which is so surprising to me for something that is a very sheer coverage. So a big fan of the L'Oreal Age Perfect 4-in-1 tinted balm. This is in the color 10 Light. Gosh, that was a lot of fun today. I'm really so pleased with how the makeup came out. All drugstore, all easily affordable. Just a really fun look. I hope you found it fun, useful, and helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 and over 60 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. I get so tickled when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.